Alright, you are back with comedian Dave Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I went down to the library today to get some fucking work done. I can't do any work at home. It just doesn't get done. I get distracted. I walk around the house. I fucking clean dishes and shit. Shit I don't like doing. All to avoid doing actual work. So after I dropped my kid off at school, I went down to the fucking library, and it's sort of like one of those co-working spaces. It's got heaps of chairs. It's got heaps of fucking places to park up and just do a good hard day's work, a good honest day's work. So I go down there and I'm there for about 20 minutes, and who happens to walk by? My mate Georgie Nagel, the director. Remember fucking, it would have been last year, I told you a friend of mine won some prestigious film festival thing in France with his movie Mate, with his short film Mate. Well, this is Georgie. So Georgie was there. We ended up sitting down, having a chat about life and art and whatever. Procrastinating pretty much, just having a tea and a chat. I think his short film's available now. I know it came out on SBS in Australia, but I don't think you can access that from overseas. So that would have just been from Australia. I'll ask him. I'll see if the link's out and you can give it a fucking watch. So yeah, sat with Georgie for a while, caught up with him. He was there for the same reason. He's like, I need to write a fucking script. I need to write something and I can't do it at home. I need to get the fuck out of the house to do any work. So he was there for the exact same reason. And after a while, we're like, well, I guess we should get back to work, yeah? This feels like a little like being at home, procrastinating again, doesn't it? So left Georgie, and literally a minute later, I bump into a comedian, Dan Rath. Rathy was there for the exact same reason me and Georgie were there. Just can't get a fucking single thing done at home. What is with that? He's like, I'll sit around all day and just do nothing. And then at the end of the day, I'll feel physically sick that I just got nothing done. I'm like, I'm the fucking same, man. That happens to me almost every day. So I ended up having a chat with Rathy for a little while. And once the chat with Georgie and Rathy was done, it was pretty much time to pack up. Pack up and head back. Very productive day out there at the fucking library. I did actually get some work done. I was more productive there than I would have been at home, regardless. And even more important, it felt like I was doing something. At home, even if I get the same amount of work done as I got done today at the library, I would have felt like shit. It would have felt like nothing. But because I left the house, went down there, sat at a table, it felt like I was achieving. And I guess I was. I guess I fucking was. I think I'm going to head down there 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I can't really go Tuesday and Thursday because I got jiu-jitsu at 11 a.m. So it's not really worth going in there for an hour. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I can get down there, get a full day's work in. Hopefully bump into some more people I know to distract me. My weeks are starting to take shape. I'm starting to get a little bit of structure going. And then as soon as I get a little bit of structure going, fucking next Thursday I'm down in Melbourne. That blows it all out of the fucking water. And then get back from Melbourne for a week, get the routine happening again for 1 week, and then we're in Queensland for 6 days. Fucking hell. That's the difference between like a normal job and a job in the creative field. In a normal job, your structure is set out for you. Your work week is all set out. You know what you're doing. You've got fucking everything's mapped out for you. What you need to do is to fucking keep yourself sane in the 9-to-5 jobs is you need to insert some sort of like creativity into your job. But it's the opposite when you're doing a creative thing. It's all creative shit, and somehow you need to construct the structure, the discipline around it. And that's a very difficult thing to do for cooked cunts, because most people in the creative business are cooked. Anyway, don't fucking worry about it. It's Monday. It's the first day of the week. A Monday, which means it's Ask Boyle time. So if you have a question you would like answered by one of the greatest minds of the generation, comedian, philosopher, Craney Le Boyle, then head to my website. It's boylecomedy.com. There's a section there for Ask Boyle. Put your details in, write your question out, or you can drunk dial me. You can ask your question with the drunk dial feature on my website. You'll find it. It's there. Go do it. Anyway, let's get on to this week's Ask Boyle. So this week's Ask Boyle was sent in by my man Kyle Milky. It's Mielkey. Milky. Alright, so here's Milky's question. Assuming the idea that we have to live every consciousness that's ever lived, what do you think would be the absolute worst and what would be the best? Well, Milkman, you have come to the right place. So I guess this question is coming from a place where he believes in reincarnation and that you have to live every consciousness before you get to enlightenment. You have to be a bug, you have to be a bacteria, you have to be Asian, like you have to be everything. And we just continue on with the lives. So what would be the worst consciousness? I've often thought about that because even in Buddhism, there's the hell realms. There's the hot hell realm and there's the icy hell realms. And I've always tried to get that concept in my head. What would it be? So you would have to be born a consciousness in the hell realm. Like the hot hell realm is just burning. You're just burning. You can't eat. You're just fucked. You're fucked for aeons or eternity or close to eternity before you can break free of it, before your punishment ends. And I always think about this stuff because I'm going to the hell realms. I don't want to, but I've done the calculations and I'm going to have to pull out some serious philanthropy and fucking charity work for the remainder of my life to even get like a reduced sentence in the hell realms. So I always think about the hell realms, and for some reason I've had this thought in my head that I've never been able to get rid of. The thought that like rocks are conscious in some way. They just operate in a different time scale to what we do. And I got that idea mainly because I did a hell of a lot of acid. But I was also watching this documentary once and it was starfish. And they didn't really think that starfish were really conscious. And some cunt went underwater and started filming them. Filmed them for like hours and hours and shit. And then sped up the video. Time-lapsed the video. And you could see that the starfish were interacting with each other. They were doing like dances and fucking like having conversations and shit, high-fiving. We just couldn't see it because they were operating on different time frames. So maybe for two starfish to high-five, it takes them like 4 hours. You know what I mean? So we don't see it with our eyes, but it still happens. And I always thought that rocks were conscious for some reason. I don't know why. And watching that starfish thing made me think that rocks were just working on a huge time scale. Like if you could film a group of rocks for like 1,000 years and then time lapse it, I bet you would see like the rocks have little families, they travel around, they meet each other, they like interact with each other. I bet that happens. I know it happens. Well, I don't know, but I fucking bet it does. So for rocks to like get up next to each other and high five probably takes like 3,000 years to get a high five with the rocks. So if I'm coming from that frame of mind, I would fucking hate to be a rock. You've got to believe rocks are conscious though, and I do. So fuck you. I think that might be the hell realm. You get born as a rock in the fucking Sahara and you just sit there burning like fuck for 3 million years until you get turned to sand. And then from rock, you work your way to bacteria, and then up the scale, back up to human. It just takes fucking forever. But we've got infinity time, so that's cool. So I wouldn't like to be born a rock in the Sahara Desert or on a mountain, like on Everest or something like that. Fuck that. Or in Siberia. That's the cold and the hot realms of fucking hell in Buddhism. So rock would be the worst, closely followed by Jew. Very close. That was it was a flip of the coin, Jew or rock. But rock won out. So what would be the best? Human's the best. And it's not for any reason like, yeah, we can walk and talk and read books and shit. It's not because of that. It's because as a human, there's unlimited potential. Like you can become anything. And I don't mean like a movie star. You can become a truck driver. You can become a podcaster. I mean, you can become a god. You can transcend human form and become a god. If you do human right, human potential is unlimited. You can end up being a god. That's why. That's why humans the best. Not because we've got iPhones. It's because we can become the gods we were born. You've got to take some serious leaps of faith on those two things to believe that humans can become gods and to believe that rocks are conscious. But that's what you're here for. You're not here for the fucking straight up answer. You're here to mind the thoughts of an absolute psychopath. And I'm glad I could help. Anyway, Milky, thanks for the fucking question. That'll do for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around, and I'll see you the fuck later.